Hello, and welcome again to another day of classes. Today we're going to be continuing with the Interchange 5th edition level 3, the Green Book, and today we're going to be starting with the Unit 4. As always, we start with the language summary or the vocabulary for this lesson. So let's jump right in. Okay, we're going to be starting with nouns. Coincidence. A coincidence is when the exact same thing happen, or when something that is not probable to happen happens. For example, it is a coincidence that both of them have the same exact clothes on the same day. Another coincidence can be, to start thinking about a hamburger and then see an advertisement about Burger King or something like that. Those are the coincidences. Dilemma. Situation involving such as a choice, usually undesirable or unpleasant choice. A dilemma, it's basically a difficult situation where you have to choose between two different things that are really complicated. For example, if you have to save one person, if it's your wife or husband or your mom, which one do you choose? That is a dilemma. It's usually that a problem where you need to make a choice and the choice is really hard. Disaster. These are disasters, really bad things that happen, like with the environment. Emergency. Emergency, it's when something is really urgent and we need to sort it out really quickly. For example, if someone is dying, that is an emergency, and we need to call an ambulance. Lucky break. A piece of good luck, especially one that leads to success. When you have a lucky break, it's when you have a really good luck on a specific thing. Mishap. An unfortunate accident. Bad luck. It's basically when something bad happens to you. For example, if you are running or riding a bike and you fell down, that is a mishap. Mistake. A wrong action or statement proceeding from faulty judgment, inadequate knowledge, or inattention. When you commit a mistake is when you do something wrong on the things that you were doing. For example, if you are uh, doing something with a plane and you do what you shouldn't have done, that is a mistake. Mystery. Something not understood or beyond understanding. Something that you don't know or understand. That is a mystery. Triumph. A notable success. When you triumph or when you get to have a triumph, it's when you do something really, really, really good. Achievement. A result gained by effort. Okay, very good. Brain. A very intelligent or intellectual person. You can call them a brain. Also, the brain is the organ inside of your head that lets you think. Desire. Conscious impulse toward something that promises enjoyment or satisfaction in its attainment. Basically, a desire is something that you really, really, really want. I desire a lot of money. Destruction, the action or process of destroying something. Destruction is when everything is boom, 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 etc. Driver, it's the person that drives. For example, you can drive a car. Earth, the planet on which we live that is the third in order from the sun. This is Earth, planet Earth. Elevator, a cage or platform and its hoisting machinery for conveying people or things to different levels. It's what we don't use, what we use instead of the stairs, and it lets you go to different levels on buildings. Fortune and good fortune, an auspicious state resulting from favorable outcomes. When you have good fortune, it's like good luck. And when you have bad fortune, it's like bad luck. Ick factor. Express disgust as something unpleasant or offensive. The ick factor is like, ugh. Okay? Lis, the plural, or lus as a singular, is a small, usually sluggish arthropod that lives on other animals or on plants and sucks their bloods and juices. Okay, those are lusas. You usually find them on dogs. Outbreak. Sudden increase in numbers of a harmful organism and especially an insect within a particular area. There was an outbreak for coronavirus in the beginning of this year, and this is why we're taking classes like this right now. Package. A commodity or a unit of a product uniformly wrapped or sealed. These are packages. Podcast. A program, as of music or talk, made available in digital format for automatic download over the internet. Police. The department of government charged with prevention, detection, and prosecution of public nuisance and crimes. Is people that try to protect us on the street. A runner. It's the person who runs, usually an athlete. Selfies. Imagine that image that includes oneself, often with another person or as a part of a group, and is taken by oneself using a digital camera, especially for posting on social networks. A selfie is the short for self-portrait, so it's a picture of yourself. Sidewalk. Usually paved walk for pedestrians at the side of a street. These are the sidewalks. Cars should not be on sidewalks. Sleep deprivation. The situation or condition of suffering from a lack of sleep. When you don't sleep anything, you have sleep deprivation, and it can lead to really bad outcomes in your health. Suffering. The state or experience of one that suffers. Suffering is when you're having a really, really, really bad time. Look at her, she's suffering. Thrift shop. Shop that sells second-hand articles and especially clothes and is often run for charitable purposes. Okay? Trash can. This is a trash can. Trip. Journey in which you go somewhere, usually for a short time, and come back again. That is a trip, basically. Okay, very good. Weight loss. Decrease in body weight. When you have a weight loss is when your body weight starts being, less weight. Let's see some adjectives. Believable. Capable of being believed, especially as within the range of known possibility or probability. Something believable is something that you can say, I haven't checked for sure, but I believe you. Complex. Hard to separate, analyze, or solve. Something complex is usually something difficult, but it's not exactly the same. Connected. Different things that are connected, like they are joined by something. In this case, these are nails connected by threads. Dangerous. Something dangerous is something that can lead you to have bad things with your body or, you can die. Healthy. Related to a good health. Inaccurate. That doesn't go to the point. Incredible. If you look at this image, this is incredible. Look at all of this beauty. Puzzling. Difficult to understand or solve because it is like a puzzle, that it's puzzling. Quick. Action or acting or capable of acting with speed. Something that is quick is something that has speed. Satirical. Containing or using satire, sarcastic, critical, and mocking another's weaknesses. That is something related to satire. Several. Separate or distinct from one another. Several, it means different, and more than one. Sudden. Happening or coming unexpectedly, basically. Suspicious. When you're suspicious, it's like you don't believe. You know there's something in the back. Trustworthy. Able to be relied on as an honest or a truthful. A trustworthy person is basically someone that you can trust. Understandable. Able to be understood. while the words for understandable are intelligible, comprehensible, clear, obvious, plain, apprehensible, coherent, graspable, reasonable, lucid. Unexpected, something that you were not waiting for it to happen. You wouldn't think that it could happen, but it happens. For example, this beautiful flower growing in this type of soil. Let's see some verbs. Be able to or be unable to. Would you be able to come to my party? If you're unable to, it's when you cannot. If you're able to, then you can. Might. Used to express permission, liberty, probability, or possibility in the past. Might delete later. I might take you on a date, for example. That's something that it's possible, but it's not yes, but it's not no. It's possible. Burn off calories. It's when you do exercises to, you know, and lose weight. Gain. To make an increase of a specified amount. Okay? When you gain something, it's when you have less and then you have more. For example, he is gaining weight and a big stomach. Interrupt. Stop or hinder by breaking in. Okay? So it's when you stop something in a bad way. It's like, what? Interrupting. Involve. Engage as a participant. If you involve yourself, is when you start also participating. Lock up. Shoot and secure a building by fastening its doors with locks. If you lock up something, you put a lock on it, like this one. Look for. To search or to try to find. Run into. Meet by chance. If you run into someone, it's like, oh, you're here, hello, and you start saying like hi, but you are not expecting them to see you or you to see them. Run out of a supply or something, be used up. So when you run out of something, it means that you have zero of that thing, like run out of gasoline, run out of money, run out of time, etc. Workout. Engage in vigorous physical exercise. When you do a lot of exercise, basically. Very good. We're going to come back here when we get to the grammar. But for now, let's go to the book. Okay, so this unit is called What Happened? In this unit, we're going to be describing past events, and on the next part of the class, on the next video, we're going to be discussing and telling stories. Okay, very good. But to start, we're going to be seeing this snapshot. Okay? So let's see. News. Several streets closed after suspicious package was found. Health. Why weight loss isn't the same as being healthy. Interesting. Trending topics. The earth is getting warmer and the signs are everywhere. Arts. The top rated TV shows you need to be watching right now. Science. Women need more sleep than men because they use more of their brains. I would say so. Tech. Here are the 5 must-have apps for runners. Interesting. Okay, which story would you like to read and why? What types of stories do you usually read online? Where do you get your news? What's happening in the news today? Well, if it were by me, things that I would be reading would be this on the news, also the trending topic, and maybe arts. This part, it seems interesting. Okay, now let's go to these perspectives. It's gonna be something I think related to the exercise one. We're gonna listen to what people are listening on their way to work. Which stories from exercise one are they related to? Okay, so these are related to one of this. And you need to find those, okay, after listening and reading. Which is a message from a coworker, a message from a friend, and a podcast. You're also going to identify this. So let's listen and read, and then we're gonna check, okay? Okay, so let's listen.
Unit 4. What happened? Page 22. Exercise 2. Perspectives. Listen up. Part A. Listen to what people are listening to on their way to work. Which stories from exercise 1 are they related to?
Hey, I just downloaded this incredible app. I used it this morning and I think you're gonna love it. While I was working out, it calculated exactly how many calories I burned. The bad thing is, it tells me I still need to run about 4 miles to burn off last night's dinner.
As scientists were doing some research on the effects of sleep deprivation, they discovered that women need about 20 more minutes of sleep a night than men do. They think the reason is that women tend to do several tasks at once, which makes their brains work harder.
Hi, Jeff. We're canceling our meeting in the downtown office this morning. We just learned that the police have closed all the streets in the area. It seems that a man was looking for his lost cat when he found a suspicious package inside a trash can. In the end, it was just an old box of chocolates.
Okay, very good. Really interesting, and especially this one. But okay, do you get the answers for this? If not, remember that you can go and listen again. But which stories from exercise ones are these stories are related to? Let's check. Well, number one, this one. Here are 5 must-have apps for runners. So that's the last one for tech. Women need more sleep than men because they use more of their brains. This is the one. Interesting. And the last one, several streets closed after suspicious package was found. Okay, it's this one. If you have these answers, very good. And which messages are for a coworker, a friend, and a podcast? Let's check. Well, the first one is from a friend, the second one is from a podcast, and the third one is from a coworker. Really, really good if you have those answers. Very good. Let's continue. Okay, so we're gonna be going right away to the grammar for today. That is something really interesting and something that you might already know, but we're gonna be seeing it in a different way. Okay? Past continuous versus simple past. Okay? So we're gonna be seeing the differences between them. But as always, we have a material for this. Let's see. We're going to be starting with the uses of simple past, then the uses of past continuous, and then how do we use both of them together? Okay? So let's see. When do we use simple past then? We use it in a series of completed actions, things that finished. He sat down, took out a notebook and pen and started writing. He entered the room, turned in my direction, and smiled at me. All of these actions finished. Habits in the past. Jen played the piano when she was a child. I was good at dancing when I was a teenager. Okay, these were habits. Completed actions in the past. Saul baked a cake yesterday. I went to bed at 10 last night. We ordered a pizza on Friday. Okay, so we have these completed actions, but it might be right now or 5 seconds ago. But here we're specifying that it was in the past. Duration in the past. He stayed up all night. We lived in Chicago for a year. We played basketball all day. Okay, so these are the different uses for the simple past. But what about the past continuous? Okay, we use it for a certain moment in the past. Someone was in the middle of, I was sleeping at 3 a.m. Okay, at a certain moment in the past, someone was in the middle of doing something. This is basically for the past continuous. We're talking about something that is starting to happen, that was happening in the past, that was occurring. That's why we have the ing, because it's a continuous one. I was eating and he was watching TV. 2 or more actions were happening at the same time in the past, but have actions happening in the past. That's basically the core for the past continuous tense. Jane was waiting for the Jane was waiting for the bus when I met her. We use past continuous tense for an action which was interrupted. We use the past simple for the short action that interrupted the longer one. Okay, so we have 2 things here. Jane was waiting for the bus. That's basically a thing that was happening. But if it's interrupted, we use the past simple to say what was the small thing, that the short action that interrupted. Jane was waiting for the bus when I met her. So she was doing something and I interrupted by doing this. In this case, she was waiting for the bus when I met her. I woke up. I got up. The past simple tense is used when the actions happened one after the other. Okay? So we use the simple past when something happened and then the next thing happened. Okay, so simple past versus past continuous. Let's see. I was eating dinner when he called me last night. You see? I was eating dinner, something was occurring, then something interrupted that action. When he called me last night. When he called me last night, I was eating dinner. This interruption when this was happening, or this was happening when this interruption. And the way that we can change the order is by using a comma if we start with the past simple, or we don't use a comma if we start with the past continuous, okay? I hope that you understand. This was very good, and it's actually easy. It's something that you have seen before. But okay, let's continue. Let's now see the one from the book that it's gonna be way easier now. Use the past continuous for an ongoing action in the past, as we were saying, and use the simple past for an event that interrupts that action. Okay? Very good. While I was working out, this was happening. While I was working out, it calculated how many calories I burned. Okay? So this was happening and this interrupted, or this happened. As scientists were doing research, they discovered that women need more sleep than men. They were doing this, and this discovery is what interrupted. A man was looking for his cat when he found a suspicious package inside a trash can. Okay? So, you see, past continuous, things were happening, and something interrupted in simple past. Okay, very good. I hope that you understand this part. It's actually quite easy to understand. But if not, remember there are more videos on the internet, or you can go back to listen one more time. But to practice this, let's complete this exercise right here. Okay, here. You're gonna complete the stories using the past continuous or simple past forms of the verbs. And then we're gonna check basically. Okay, so take your time to complete this, and then we check. Okay, you finished? Let's check. Okay, sorry. Marcia Murphy donated her old pants to a thrift shop as she was walking home. She remembered she left 20 in her pants pocket. Okay, very good. Jason Clark was walking home one day when he saw a little puppy cry on the sidewalk, so he stopped to help. As he was picking him up, a woman came from nowhere screaming, "Stop that guy! He's trying to steal my puppy!" Jason ended up spending 3 hours at the police station. Oh my god, that's really bad luck. On her birthday last year, Diane Larson was driving to work when she had a bad accident. This year, just to be safe, she decided to stay home on her birthday. Unfortunately, that night while she was sleeping in her apartment, the floor of her living room collapsed and she fell into the neighbor's apartment. That's really bad luck. But okay, did you get these answers? If you did, very good. You are correct. Okay, now let's see this with the pronunciation. Interesting. Intonation in complex sentences. You know, some sentences that have multiple ways, multiple patterns, multiple words. So there's a specific intonation to that. Okay, so let's listen and then we're gonna practice it.
Page 23. Exercise 4. Pronunciation. Intonation in complex sentences. Part A. Listen and practice. Notice how each clause in a complex sentence has its own intonation pattern.
As Marcia was walking home, she remembered she left $20 in her pants pocket.
A man was looking for his cat when he found a package.
Okay, very good. Did you notice? In these cases, we have complex sentences that have, two sentences in one, and they have their own intonation pattern. Okay? And this is something that usually comes natural when you're reading, but it's something important to practice. So let's do that. As Marcia was walking home, she remembered she left $20 in her pants pocket. As Marcia was walking home, she remembered she left $20 in her pants pocket. Okay, whoop, whoop. And a man was looking for his cat when he found a package. A man was looking for his cat when he found a package. Okay, different intonation patterns basically. Okay, you can really listen to this as many times as you need to practice this. And when you finish with that, we're gonna be continuing. Okay, so let's see this last part. That is a listening. Very good. Listen to 3 news stories. Number the pictures from 1 to 3. There is 1 extra picture. And then you're gonna take notes on each story. Where did it happen? When did it happen? And what happened? Okay, so let's take our time to listen and then we're gonna check. Okay, so let's listen.
Page 24. Exercise 5. Listening. Crazy but true. Part A. Listen to 3 news stories. Number the pictures from 1 to 3. There is 1 extra picture. 1.
A teenager's soccer game in Australia took an unexpected turn on Saturday when an escaped bull decided to join the game. The players were running toward the goal when the bull charged the field. It began chasing the 14-year-old boy who had the ball. Luckily, the boy was fast and managed to get out of the way. Apparently bored with the soccer game, the bull left the field as suddenly as it had entered it, leaving players and viewers shocked at what they had just witnessed.
2.
A 19-year-old by the name of Matt is lucky to be alive and well. Matt was watching TV at his grandmother's home in Missouri last Thursday when a terrible storm started. While he was talking to his grandmother, the storm intensified into a tornado, ripping the walls off the house and sucking him in. The tornado took Matt over 1,300 feet before dropping him in an abandoned field. After flying through the air at 150 miles per hour, it's safe to say that Matt had the ride of his life.
3.
Early Tuesday morning in Ontario, 2 police officers were chasing a car thief when they suddenly lost control of their vehicle and drove into a river. Surprisingly, the thief went back to the scene of the accident and helped rescue the officers from the river. The local police department dropped all charges against the thief for saving the officers' lives.
Okay, very good. Did you get all of the answers? If not, remember that you can listen again. But for now, let's check. Well, the first one, it's this one with the ball. The second one, it's the one with the kid. And the third one is the one with police officers and the thief. But did you get to answer these questions? Where did it happen? When did it happen? And what happened? Yes? Let's check. Well, okay, so let's see. Number 1, where did it happen? It happened in Australia on a Saturday. A bull ran onto a soccer field and started chasing a soccer player. Okay, very good. Oh, it says everything. Number 2, Missouri, last Thursday. Tornado carried a 19-year-old boy over 1,300 feet and dropped him in an abandoned field. My God, I'm glad that he didn't die. And number 3, Ontario. Early Thursday morning, a thief rescued 2 police officers after they lost control of their vehicle and drove into a river while chasing the thief. Okay, very good. Interesting. If you get these answers, very good. You are correct. Okay, that's been everything for today. On the next class, we're going to be telling stories. That's going to be the main focus of that unit. And we're going to be also continue with the past by looking at the past perfect. So, I hope that you look forward for it, but that's been everything for today. So, see you in the next time. Bye.